Today, I'm going to teach you 50 useful phrases. These are short and common phrases we use to talk about daily life. These phrases are great for all learners, from beginner to advanced. Because they are easy to remember and will help you speak more naturally. I will explain each one using simple, clear language. Then I will give you 2 examples. You can also repeat after me. If you need more practice, you can download the PDF file with the full text. The whole script, extra examples, and a quiz at the end. This is available at www.englishunleashed.com/shop. All right, are you ready to sound more natural in English? Let's begin. Okay, let's start with the first one. To sleep in. This means to wake up later than usual. For example, if you usually wake up at 7, but today you wake up at 10, that means you slept in. Here are 2 examples. I love sleeping in on Sundays.
We slept in and missed breakfast.
Here is the next one. Drag yourself out of bed. This means you get out of bed even when you're really tired and don't want to. It feels hard, like your body doesn't want to move. Here are 2 examples. I had to drag myself out of bed at 6. She dragged herself out of bed after a late night. Here is another phrase. To be up and about. This means you're awake and moving around, not lying in bed anymore. You are active and doing things. Here are 2 examples. By 7, I'm usually up and about.
He was up and about early today.
All right, here is the next phrase. To throw something on. This means you put on clothes very quickly without thinking too much. Maybe you are in a rush. So you could say, I threw on some jeans and left. Or she threw on a hoodie and went out. Here comes number 5. To splash water on your face.
This means you wash your face with cold water to help you wake up.
It's a common way to feel fresh in the morning. Here are 2 examples. I splashed water on my face and felt better.
He went to the bathroom to splash water on his face. Great. Let's move to the next phrase. To grab a bite. This means to eat something quickly, maybe a snack or a small meal. Often when you don't have much time, so you could say, I grabbed a quick bite before class. Or, let's grab a bite on the way. Here comes number 7. To skip breakfast. This means you don't eat anything in the morning. Some people do it because they're busy or not hungry. For example, you could say, I skipped breakfast and felt awful later. Or, she usually skips breakfast during the week. Great, let's look at the next phrase. To chug your coffee. This means to drink your coffee very fast, usually because you're in a rush. It's like drinking it all in one go. For example, you could say, I chugged my coffee and ran out the door. Or, he chugs 2 coffees every morning. Now, here is the next one. To whip up something to eat. This means to make some food quickly, simple and fast. Not a big meal, just something easy. So for example, you could say, I whipped up some eggs. Or, she whipped up a quick breakfast. Here is number 10. To fuel up for the day. This means to eat something that gives you energy to start your day. You fuel up like a car needs fuel. So for example, you could say, I need to fuel up before a long day. Or, he fueled up with a big bowl of oats. Now, all right, let's keep going. We've done the morning. Now it's time to go out and move around. The first one is to head out the door. This means you leave your house, your office, or any place you are on your way somewhere. It's a casual way to say, I am leaving now. For example, you could say, I grabbed my bag and headed out the door.
Or, she headed out the door at 6 sharp.
Okay, here is number 12. To hop on the bus. This means you get on the bus, but usually quickly or casually. It sounds fast and light. For example, you could say, I hopped on the bus just in time.
Or, we hopped on the next one.
Okay, here is number 13. To beat the traffic. This is a useful one. This means you leave early before the roads get busy, okay? So you leave early before the roads get busy to avoid getting stuck in traffic. For example, you could say, I left at 6 to beat the traffic. Or, she always tries to beat the traffic. Here is the next one. To run late. This means you are behind schedule. Things are taking longer than they should. For example, you could say, I'm running late. I'll be there soon. Or he's always running late. Morning. Here is the next one. To make good time. This means you travel faster than expected, or everything is going smoothly. So for example, you could say, we made good time this morning. Or, I made good time and and got to work early. Okay, now let's talk about work, or getting stuff done. Here is number 16. To get cracking on something. This means to start doing something and to do it quickly. It's casual and energetic. For example, you could say, I need to get cracking on this report. Or, let's knock out this project and take a break. Here is number 17. To plow through work.
This means you keep working even if it's boring, hard, or takes a long time.
For example, you could say, I plowed through all my emails. Or, she plowed through the paperwork in one go. Let's move on to the next phrase, number 18, to knock out a task. This means to finish something quickly and easily. You get it done fast. For example, you could say, I knocked out the report before lunch. Or, let's knock out this project and take a break. Okay, here comes number 19. To be snowed under. This means you have too much to do. You are overloaded, like Barry in snow. For example, you could say, I'm totally snowed under this week. Or, she is snowed under with deadlines. Okay, now you can say it with me. Sorry, I'm snowed under right now. And this is the last one in this section, number 20. To wrap things up. Notice that the W at the beginning of the word wrap is not pronounced. To wrap things up, okay? And this means to finish your work or end something like a task or a meeting. So you could say, let's wrap things up before dinner. Or, he wrapped things up and went home early. Okay, now let's slow things down. We're heading into the evening time to relax. And here is the next phrase. To kick back and relax. This means to take it easy, to stop working, to chill out. For example, you could say, after work, I just kick back and relax. Or, he loves to kick back with a book. Here is the next one, to catch up on a show. This means to watch a TV show you missed, maybe a few episodes at once. For example, you could say, I caught up on that new series last night. No. Or, let's catch up on the last episode. Here is the next one. To crash out. This means to fall asleep quickly, usually because you are super tired. For example, you could say, I crashed out at 10. I was dead tired. Or, she crashed on the sofa. Okay, here is the next one. To doze off. This means 비는 to slowly fall asleep. For example, you could say, I dozed off during the movie. Or he dozed off while reading. Now, you can repeat after me and shadow me. I dozed off on the couch. Well done, that's great. And here is the next phrase. To call it a night. This means to decide to go to bed or stop for the day. For example, you could say, I'm exhausted, I'm calling it a night. Or you could say, let's call it a night and go home. Okay, here is the next phrase, to freshen up. This means to quickly wash your face to get ready again, maybe after a long day. For example, you could say, I went to freshen up before dinner. Or, she freshened up after her workout. Here is the next phrase. To check your schedule. This means to look at your calendar or planner. For example, you could say, let me check my schedule and get back to you. Or, he checked his schedule and said, yes. Okay, here is the next phrase, to pop into a shop. This means to go into a store quickly, just for a minute. For example, you could say, I popped into the shop to buy some bread. Or, she popped into the pharmacy on her way home. Now, say it with me. I'm just popping into the shop. Be right back. Okay, great. Fantastic. And here is the next one. To catch some fresh air. That means to go outside and breathe for a bit, especially if you've been inside too long. For example, you could say, I needed to catch some fresh air after that meeting. Or, let's go for a walk and get some air. Here is the next phrase. To scroll through your phone. This means to look at your apps, messages, or social media on your phone. For example, you could say, she scrolled through her phone before bed. Or, I was just scrolling through Instagram. Okay, here is the next phrase. To do a quick workout. To do a quick workout, this means to exercise for a short time. For example, you could say, I did a quick workout before breakfast. Or, he likes doing short home workouts. Now repeat after me. Let's do a quick workout. Well done. Here is the next one. To brew some tea. This means to make tea, to boil it, steep it, and enjoy it. For example, you could say, I brewed some tea while waiting. Or, she brewed a fresh cup every morning.
Now you can repeat this one after me. I'm gonna brew some tea.
Well done. Here is the next phrase. To tidy up. This means to clean or organize something quickly. For example, you could say, let's tidy up before the guests arrive.
Or, I tidied up the kitchen this morning.
Okay, let's keep it going. Here's the next one. To catch the news. This means to watch or listen to the news. For watch or today's example. You could say, I caught the news while eating breakfast.